Okay, forget what just happened a minute ago. So yeah, I don't know what just happened, but all of a sudden, the last stream that I was doing went down. I don't know what could have caused it. Sorry. Um, but anyway, we're just gonna pretend like that whole thing never happened and just move on. Um, so welcome everybody, and by everybody I mean nobody, because so far there's no one in here. But tonight we are going to be doing a reading of the notorious webcomic, The Lightbringer, from Linkara, from Lewis Lovehog, aka Linkara, who was a former content creator from Channel Awesome, who was known for reviewing bad comic books. You know, stuff. I'm trying to think of like some of the more infamous ones he's done. He's done videos on comics like Avengers number 200, a lot of the works of Frank Miller, shit like that. But he also early on did a web comic that is also pretty notorious. I believe Didwing Dork did a stream about him, and I'm sure this stream is going to get just as many hits as that one. You know, but this should be a fun time. Hopefully more people start joining soon. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so we've got the cover here, the Lightbringer, and yeah, this is from Steel Dragon Comics. I'm sure they're just as big of a publisher as Marvel or DC or Image. But yeah, we've got the Lightbringer, and this is our titular hero. With a weird Star of David type thing on his torso, and yeah, it goes without saying that the art in this is bad. You know, I mean, it's immature, you know, so I'll give him that. But I don't know, this is almost like Sonichu levels of bad artwork. So anyway, and then we've got this note at the bottom, and I'm gonna try to read this. Yeah, let me move the microphone a little closer. I'm going to try to read this in my best Linkara voice, but it's not going to sound anything like him. It's going to be more kind of like how Chris O'Neill does his Linkara voice, but without the lisp, because I tried doing it with the lisp before, and it just came out bad. So I actually drew this after the first several pages, but I realized that I would need a cover for the issue. The cover itself is an homage to the ever-homageable Identity Crisis number 2, albeit certainly more positive than that comic. Also, it's a mistake that Lightbringer's hair in this picture doesn't have the combing it does in later comics. I had originally intentioned that he would comb his hair to further alter his appearance, but I eventually decided that the coloring was enough. So there you go. Oh, we got 2 viewers in the chat. Hey guys, how are you doing? Oh, and also before I go any further, if you go to my Streamlabs and donate at least $5 to the stream, I will take a shot of Captain Morgan's Sliced Apple Rum. So that'll be a great time, me trying to read this terrible webcomic while getting progressively more and more drunk. So let me know how the audio balancing is, and we'll continue on. So next page, we open on Pharaoh City, which, yeah, it doesn't look good. It looks pretty bad. So we open on Pharaoh City, and then we see this guy walking down the street next to what I presume is a store, and it's their Valentine's Day sale, and we got the narration. It started off well enough, a fantastic, peaceful metropolis within the Midwest, but it was almost amazing at how quickly it fell apart. And I'm guessing this is supposed to be like the city later on when it's like trashed, and you can tell it's trashed because instead of a Valentine's Day sale sign, there's what I assume is an eviction notice, and there's like boards on the door and even some graffiti. All we see is SU, but I can only assume that if we were to peer into this alleyway, it would probably say suck on it. Okay, checking the chat. Brazil says Ayo finally could join. Also, can you turn your audio a bit up? It's kind of low right now. Do you mean my audio or the music? MS Paint City. Yeah, that's right. It honestly does look like something made in MS Paint. It's pretty terrible. Okay, if you're talking about my audio, let me turn it up. Okay, let me know how this is. If I'm still a little too quiet, let me know. But anyway, let's continue on. Then we got the little author's note. This is the first comic I ever drew. My artistic talents are so clearly laid out. Their utter craptitude. Well, at least he admits that it's terrible. And this is made back in 2006, so... However, I think Pharaoh City, when I first designed it, was pretty nifty, despite the fact that I wanted more buildings than I ended up with. I should also note that when I did this comic, the text was at size 14, because I was just starting to experiment and wanted to see what I could do with it. So, alright, next page. Your audio. Oh, okay, mine. Let's... Oh, sorry, I accidentally muted myself. Okay, I got the microphone, like, right up to me. Let's see, maybe I can... It's sounding good now. Okay, good. Alright. Okay, I just moved the mic over. I should probably get a new mic. I'm currently using a blue Snowball. So let me know if there's like a better microphone out there that I should get besides this thing. But anyway, let's continue. So we're on to page 3. My name is Carter Granholm. I have lived in Pharaoh City for 12 years, ever since my parents moved us here in hopes of finding the grand opportunities promised. My parents were murdered several years ago. Yeah, that's totally not a cliche with superhero stories. You know, it's not like various other famous superheroes have dead parents. You know, like Superman or Batman or Spider-Man. I mean, it's wholly unique and original. Yeah, just one second. Okay, sorry, just something I had to check with Discord. How's everybody doing tonight? I'm doing pretty well. I've got my sliced apple rum, and I've also got a strongbow here to help me get through this. Anyway, without further ado, let's keep going. Okay. It was declared a mugging, and the perpetrator, suspected to be a gang member, was never caught. I can't take it personally, of course, since not a day goes by in Pharaoh City where someone isn't murdered, or kidnapped, or raped. It's the police I mostly feel sorry for. Most of the citizens have lost hope in them to solve their problems. Yeah, flash forward about 14, 15 years later, and yeah, people have more than lost hope in the police. I probably should just move on. I sometimes wonder if the cops have lost faith in themselves too, considering the circumstances. The city feels like it's cast in perpetual twilight, almost like flowing in and around me, but always the darkness tainting it somehow. I don't think I've really seen the sun in years. And then author's note. My first attempt at being artsy while still drawing a semi-decent picture. I don't know if semi-decent is the best word I could use for it. I mean, I've seen worse, but it's not good. Most of the time, you won't see the yellow lines that separate the sides of a road. It's really a combination of laziness and the fact that it's hard enough to come up with scale when it comes to the streets and making sure everything's at their correct angles and parallels. Alright, so at least he's given us, like, reasons for why it looks as wonky as it does. Anyway, let's move on to the next page. So, okay. My parents had actually had their hearts set that I'd become an actor. However, circumstances didn't allow me to pursue it. Instead, I opened up my own business. It's not the most glamorous profession in the world, but it's honest. Grand Furniture. Yeah, Grand Furniture. That's a great name for a store. You know, really, really hooks you in. And there's more of that really terrible MS Paint artwork. You know, truly this kind of stuff that should be hung up in an art museum. Like this is almost like, you know, Frank Miller and all those other guys eat your heart out. This, you know, your stuff is nothing compared to this. Excuse me. Sadly, though, honesty doesn't pay bills. It doesn't pay the checks for my employees or the maintenance costs for the for the business itself. Sales have been in decline for the past few years. In fact, this year has been so bad for sales that I've had to take drastic action to keep the business open for my employees. Oh, okay, I don't know who's saying this. I'm guessing one of his employees. I'm just gonna do a random voice. Hope business is doing well, Granholm. And then we've got this chart right here, which I wouldn't be surprised if Linkara just like did this in like Microsoft Excel or whatever and just copied it and then pasted it into this comic, because that's what it looks like. Alex likes to draw. Hi, Film. What are you reading? Tonight I am reading The Lightbringer. It's a notorious webcomic from one Louis Lovehog, aka Linkara. This is something he made like way back when. As you can see at the bottom, there's okay, it's not on this page, but oh right, there we go. This was made back in 2006, so this is a 15-year-old comic. And I don't know, someone in my last stream said that it would be fun to read through this, and I thought it'd be fun to do too, since I've never read this before. But anyway, let's keep going. And then we got the author's note. The desk layout is actually based on the one that I have at the furniture store that I work at as a stock boy. Yeah, Linkara's mentioned this in some of his videos, like the past jobs he's had. Like, he worked at a furniture store, he worked at a Borders, I believe, if any of you guys remember that. One of the things that people have commented on is the fact that I do a good job of integrating my characters into the background of a pic instead of just having a background. Yeah, I don't know about that, Chief. Mostly it's done out of my own desire to see the people actually immersed in their world, and because, psychologically, they can sometimes look really weird if they're not involved in the action somehow. I mean, yeah, that's a good point, you know. It'd be weird just to see characters, like, floating in space rather than just, like, you know, interacting with what's around them. So, Alex Draw says, I admire anyone who can go and make their own comics, honestly. They're braver than me, except Sancho's creator. Yeah, that's true. For the record, obviously, it kind of goes without saying, but I would appreciate if we kept the talk about you-know-who, you know, on the down low, or at least, like, not try to talk about him as much as usual. Yeah, I don't know why he's got the author's notes. But anyway, let's move on to the next page. Okay, so we got a couple of, you know, ruffians in here. We've got this square-jawed looking dude. We got Hot Diggity, $5 Hot Diggity Demon with a tribal tattoo and a weird, like, snake thing. And he's got a girl on a leash because, you know, women are bitches, so gotta treat them like bitches. Alright, let's see. Serpent. He's a loan shark, a thief, a murderer, a rapist, and the man I owe money to. But first and foremost, he's a member of the most organized gang in Pharaoh City, the Slavers. Okay, let me think of a good voice for this guy. Hope business treats you well, Granholm. After all, you've got to pay me back by Friday. Granholm. Okay, what am I gonna do for his voice? Okay. You'll have your damn money by then, Serpent. Oh, God. Text boxes. Oh, God. Alright. The slavers are exactly what their name implies. They kidnap someone in the middle of the night, usually women or young children, and sell them to the highest bidder. Usually it's sexual slavery, but there are plenty of people who use them just as cheap labor. Their organization is almost uncanny in its strength. The few who manage to escape the slavery itself generally end up dead, tracked down by the slaver gangs, and use as examples to anyone who would try to oppose them. They don't sell their slaves cheap, usually, so even if someone were to talk to the police, the benefactors of the slaves either hire someone to kill them or use expensive, skillful lawyers to protect the slavers in court. See, this is one thing I remember about Linkara's videos, is that he would always complain about authors who would put, like, big blocks of text in their comics to, like, explain shit. Yet, he did this all the way back in 2006, so, you know, that's a little bit of the pot calling the kettle black. But anyway, okay. Police rarely even try to hunt them down anymore, since family members of the officers then get kidnapped and used by the lieutenants and leaders of the gang. If they have no family, the officers themselves are either taken or killed. I look at this girl and try to avoid thinking about what these people have done to her. I try not to think about the fact that she probably has a family that can't find her. I try not to think about any of these things, and as a result, all I can think is that she's older than what Serpent usually prefers. And all I can think of is how I can explain all this in just giant fucking blocks of text. Oh, God. Alright. I want my goofball clown ghost. Yeah, I don't know. Their author's note. And thus the introduction of the first villains our hero must contend with. Their criminal nature is of a more mature status, and this is done for two reasons. The first would be spoiling you, so I'll reveal that when we get to it. The second reason is in the majority of comic books don't cover the subject matter of human slavery, whether it's in the form of cheap labor, forced prostitution, religious oppression, or other forms of tyranny that involve treating people's possessions or forcing people to adhere to something they don't believe in. Yeah, probably because comic books are meant to be like a form of escapist fantasy, not, necessarily comment on real world issues like this, because this is definitely the sort of thing that everybody looks for in the comics. I mean, whenever I'm reading an issue of Superman, I want to see stuff about like sex slavery. Anyway, moving on to the next page. Although there was little proof of it, it was suspected that a member of the slavers was responsible for murdering my parents. Okay, voices. Good to hear. After all, you certainly wouldn't want any of your employees to become acquainted with my organization, would you? You don't have to remind me, Serpent. I said you'll get your money, and you will. Well, then oh, wait, that's him. Well, then I'll leave you to it, Granholm. Still, if you should decide not to pay, that one woman who works here on Wednesdays would be an excellent addition to my harem. Oh yeah, this guy's Hot Diggity Demon's ultimate harem. Alright. Still experimenting with a few stylistic things here. I originally was growing to draw the gunman in full, but I figured the demonic imagery would probably work better. That, and I can't really draw guns that well, or people at all. I mean, anyway. As for the experimentation thing, it's very evident with the mouth black and seething and seeing teeth. That would change later to just whiteness. For some reason, it just looks better that way. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Just checking Discord. Okay. Next page. Oh god, more blocks of text. Alright. Here we go. When I was 7 years old, a family picture was taken. My parents got mad because my part of the picture had an unusual white glow around it. We didn't take a lot of pictures of my family, but any that featured me always had a strange glow around me. A few years later, I learned that I could look at light and change its direction, focus it, even, into beams that could burn anything it touched. After some practice, I learned how to change how powerful the beams were. So this is basically Infamous. Linkara came up with Infamous before Infamous was a thing. I even learned how to create the light on my own without an external light source. The thing that really creeped me out was when I figured out how to make the light solid. I couldn't create something alive, of course, but the ability to create a glowing object out of thin air was weird to a little kid. So it's Infamous mixed with Green Lantern. Okay, good to know. Totally not copying from other sources. The constructs didn't last long before they fell apart, usually depending on the size of the object. I kept it from my parents, of course, since I was afraid they'd think I was a freak. Well, I mean, you are a freak for numerous reasons. I mean, you've got a weirdly shaped head, your arms look off, I like the little pool of blood just like right next to him. And what is up with that eye? That eye looks gross. Except that they had known, maybe I would have been there with them when they needed me. Maybe I could have saved them from what fate had in store for them. Oh good, we don't have the author's note. Alright, so, next page. Let me check the stream real quick. Let's see. Data Kensington. Oh no, the Lightbringer. Oh yes, that is what we're doing tonight, the Lightbringer. Got 4 viewers. Alright, good stuff. Hope everybody's having a good night. Anyway, let's keep going. Next page. Alright. However, it wouldn't have made a difference anyway. My parents would have hated me for life if I had saved their lives like that. They were both devout pacifists, thinking that no problem could be solved through violence. They thought that if only people approached one another with an open hand instead of a closed fist, everyone would make friends instead of enemies. And in the end, their philosophy got them killed. I guess you could say that in the end, it doesn't even matter. Okay, sorry about that. Moving on. As I stood over their deathbeds, I vowed to stay true to pacifism. However, to pray, hope, and try to oppose violence in any and all situations. It's why I've never hit the slavers for their threats against the people I care about. Why I've had to ignore all the horrible things they do and display to the world. It doesn't mean I don't still get angry, though. My powers seem to spark whenever I get mad. So, let's see. We've got a combination of Infamous, the Green Lantern, and the Incredible Hulk. Let's see what... Oh, and also Superman, Batman, and Spider-Man, because, you know, dead parents. Let's see what other superheroes he can knock off for this. I need to be careful, though, to ensure that I don't let anyone see them, particularly the slavers. If they saw what I could do, they'd kidnap one of my employees, try to force me to do things for them. But the worst part is that if they ever did try to do something like that, they wouldn't be able to force me to do anything for them, because instead I don't want to think about what I do to them. He would probably just shoot them in the head. Oh, and now we're back to the author's notes. Alright. So, the simplest and subsequently worst looking page so far in terms of the artwork. This is what you consider to be the worst. I mean, you know, it's no better or worse than the other pages we've seen so far, so I don't know what you mean by this one being the worst. But anyway, for some reason, profile shots of characters just look fugly, and I'm working on getting better at it. Well, considering this came out in 2006, I hope by now you've gotten better at it. Anyway, when I originally conceived of Lightbringer, I hadn't thought of the pacifism angle. The original motivation was just simple cowardice or lack of will. Eventually, there would be so many things eating at him that he'd have to take action. However, I think the pacifism idea works a lot better for 2 reasons. One, it provides possible drama later on for the fact that he has to go against what his parents taught him. The second reason will be explained later. And let's keep going. Next page. Okay, here we go. Alright, I'm gonna try to do my best girl voice. It's not gonna sound very good. But here we go. Help! Someone help me! Shut your... yeah, I just gotta think of a good voice for this guy. Shut your fucking mouth! Please, I need help! Alright. Let's check the stream real quick. The author's notes in My Immortal were better. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Vehemity, yeah, that's true. The author explaining shit is pretty annoying. Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if these author's notes were written before or after the comic, or like during the comic, but yeah, the author's notes at the end of all of these are pretty bad. Yeah, just a second. Anyway, let's go ahead and get back to this. So, next page. Oh, god damn it, more blocks of text. Oh, alright. I ran as quickly as I could after I saw it. I was almost hyperventilating as I tried to push out the screams for help from my mind. No matter how far I ran, they were always there, scratching at the back of my thoughts and overwhelming my reason and sanity. Damn it, why do I have these abilities? I never wanted them, and I sure as hell can't do anything useful with them. I ran as quickly as I could back to my apartment and gasped for breath during the entire run, just like I'm trying to gasp for breath reading all this shit. My body ached. It wasn't used to sudden jolts like this. But I knew I had to get out of the streets, get away from the screams. But as I ran from the woman and her screams, a new voice entered my mind. The voices of my mother, telling me how one should never fight evil with violence, since it only fueled the evil and made it stronger. As I ran, it seemed as though the rest of the city had been emptied so as to allow me to get back home as quickly as I could. I can't remember seeing a single car or person as I fled from my own conscience, my bad. I don't even remember going into my apartment. My mind was completely out of focus and I couldn't take it anymore. Alright, then author's note. Another exterior shot with a lack of cars or people due to my crappy drawing talents. It's nice when I can explain it away in dialogue, though, isn't it? No, it's not. It's not nice. Like, again, you really don't need all this, all this text here to explain what's going on. Like, you should be able to, like, show us what's going on rather than telling us. Like, it's something you should know, given that you're a comic book reviewer. Show, don't tell. Anyway, I'm just going to check the stream real quick. Bodacious CNO sent in $2.46 saying, I hope you all have a great weekend. Well, thank you so much. Hope you have a great weekend too. And thanks for the donation. Greatly appreciated. Anyway, let's go ahead and move on to the next page. Alright. I try to throw up to release the stress I'm feeling, but nothing's happening. Nothing feels straight anymore. Nothing's clear, and everything's tilted slightly. The world isn't right, and I don't seem to have a reflection in the mirror. Oh god, I'm turning into a vampire! Oh, never mind. There's my reflection, and more blocks of text. Oh god, and there's even a big, giant... Oh god. Fucking Christ. Okay, well... The face in the mirror has no comfort to offer me. All I see is the man who could have done something but did nothing. Is this the face of a coward? The true face that I try to hide behind a face of detached angst? No, it's not cowardice. I understand now. May God help me. Looking at this face and thinking of everything that has happened to me, happened to my city, I can see it all so clearly now. The rain is gone. Alright. Mom, Dad, I'm sorry, but you were wrong. You're completely and utterly wrong. One cannot stop evil with pacifism. Evil doesn't feed on violence. It feeds on indifference. Evil feeds on pacifism. It feeds on people not doing anything to stop it. And when people do nothing, evil is allowed to continue its business. A person must not bow to evil, nor can he allow himself to fight back. Alright, well, the author's note. Here's that second reason I was referring to earlier. I truly believe that pacifism doesn't work to stop evil. Now, that doesn't mean that I support violence in every situation when there's a perceived evil. For instance, violence is not going to remove the British Empire from India. Violence is not going to force equal rights for blacks. Yeah, violence was definitely not going to force equal rights for blacks. However, against people like Saddam Hussein, or in this case, the criminal elements of Pharaoh... you know what, I really don't want to read this, because this is just, I don't know, I feel like this really adds nothing, so I think I'm just going to skip the author's notes, unless, so he's a pussy, yeah, exactly, Data, yeah, he's a pussy indeed. Do you guys want me to keep reading the author's notes, or should I just skip them and just focus on the comic, because I don't really want to read these author's notes, they're pretty stupid, not gonna lie. Anyway. Let's check. Anyway, let's go ahead and move forward. Next page. Alright. So, we get a POV shot of our main character, Carter, I believe is his name, looking at his hands, and yet more blocks of text. I have in my hands the power to change Pharaoh City, and I will change it. I don't know where I got these abilities. Maybe my parents used to live by a chemical plant. Maybe aliens altered my DNA as a precursor to invasion. Or maybe God decided that human beings needed a new weapon in the fight against evil, and decided I would be that weapon. Regardless of the reason, I have their abilities, and I will use them. My beautiful city is in the hands of the monsters, and I will not let them keep it. I know what I have to do, what I will do. And then, my name is Carter Granholm. I live in Faro City. Sorry. I just kick in of these character designs. Like, this is shit I would have made when I was in 3rd grade. And this is in 2006. So, like, Carter must have been in, like, his 20s at the time. Like, what's his excuse? Skip the ones you don't want to read. Okay, yeah. Skip them. Okay, yeah. I'm skipping the author's notes, unless I can find something funny in them. Then I'll just skip them. But yeah. Anyway, Faro City has been corrupted. Evil has taken hold of it. Criminals no longer fear conducting their business in the light. I will make them afraid of it again. Excuse me. Okay, that's something. Next page. This is their city no longer, and now this woman no longer has hair. So, let's go back real quick. So, in this last page, you could see the... Oh, no, wait. Okay, yeah, she does have hair, but... God, the way this is drawn, it looks like she doesn't have a head. She just has a floating face. Like, what? Yeah, this is shit. Anyway, and then pow, thump, and then he blasts a hole right through the guy. He just blasts a beam of light right into him. Although they can stand in day, evil will cower in fear of my light. Let's see. Give it a real watchman, or for the man who has everything feel. But then sounds that exist in the real world, doesn't? Whatever. I don't care. Let's see. I'm trying to remember the voice for Carter. Okay. Well, I mean, since he's in his superhero form, I guess I should give him a big, epic voice. So, don't worry about him. He'll be fine. Although he certainly doesn't deserve to be. Okay, so that guy's dead. It's all right now. Step out of the darkness. Okay. You know what? Fuck that. All right. And into the light. Wow, just look at that tiny ass head. It's great. So we've got our titular hero, the Lightbringer, and we got a lens flare here in his hand. Did J.J. Abrams make this? Anyway, so we got Let There Be Light, Part 1, written by Louis Lovehog, pencils, inking, and coloring by Ted... Oh, okay, so I can't really blame Linkara for how bad the art is. It's Ted Sage, it's his artwork that we're looking at. So, okay, I'll give Linkara some slack that he's not the one responsible for this terrible art. Someone else is. So, let's go ahead and check the stream. Oh my god, the fuck. Yeah, I know, the costume. It's, neat hero voice. Well, thank you, but it's just, doing the best I can. You know, I'm only one person. I can't really do that many voices, so, you know, if I had a girl on, then I'd probably have her do all the females. Anyway, and then we move on to issue number 2, and we've got the Lightbringer flying through the sky, right in front of a gradient building, and then some more blocky buildings. Again, you know, only the best artwork that you can make in Microsoft Paint. I mean, to be fair, this is still better than most of the art I could have made in Microsoft Paint, but, you know, I had Microsoft Paint when I was like 4 years old, and I'm pretty sure I moved on to like Photoshop and shit by the time by 2006, so... Anyway, next page. So, okay, we got a bunch of randos talked about the guy, so I'm just gonna try to think of some voices here. Okay. Came swooping down from atop a building, his eyes glowing, his hand shot out 2 beams of light down at the muggers, saving my wife and I. AMP +3, MCD negative, I don't know what that is. With like an angel, all he asked from me was to use my phone so he could call the police and let them know where the guy was after he had knocked him out. He even was nice enough to escort me back home. Sports allegations of misconduct. From one end of... Hang on, let me take a quick drink. Gotta do my best reporter voice. Alright. From one end of Pharaoh City to another, people are talking about him. The question on everyone's lips is, of course. And what is the question? Who is Lightbringer? I'm the luckiest guy alive. I mean it. Who else can say they're the world's first superhero? First superhero? Yeah, no. No, you're not. You're not the first superhero. No one, that's who. Okay, the cape can get in the way sometimes, and flight takes a lot of concentration, but who cares? I'm cleaning up Pharaoh City, and I'm doing a damn good job of it, too. Tonight alone, I bagged 3... You know, I probably should read these in, like, the character's voice instead of just doing Linkar's voice, since this is all, like, his thoughts. But should I do the Carter voice or the Lightbringer voice? I guess let's do the Carter voice, because that's a bit easier. Tonight alone, I bagged 3 muggers, stopped 4 groups of slavers from taking new victims, and foiled a robbery attempt across town. The best part is the fact that I managed to do this all without seriously hurting anyone. Well, unless you count breaking a few bones as seriously hurting them. So he's like, I'm just imagining this guy running up to muggers and just like grabbing their arms and like snapping them in half, or like kicking their knees so that their legs bend the wrong way. Just really gruesome shit like that. Still, I'm sure they'll get the finest medical treatment possible while they rot in their cells. And Let There Be Light Part 2. Alright, let's move on to the next page. For the main antagonist to make things more interesting. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. Yo Film, I'd be up to doing those. My voice is really high pitched. Okay, you know what, Alex? If people are cool with it, maybe for the next time I do a Lightbringer reading, I'll have you on for the stream. If you want Alex to be on the next stream, I don't know, type 765 in the chat or something. But anyway, and then we see him taking off the suit and more blocks of text. Okay. I may not be rich enough to make a bat cave, but I can use the warehouse that we use to keep inventory as a base of operations for my activities. Hidden in a compartment near the old Christmas trees, I've made myself a second home. The gauntlets I made by melting down some unsold shares from a few years ago and using some silver touch-up paint to make it silver to better match my costume. The purpose of the gauntlets, other than aesthetic reasons, is to give the impression that my light-controlling powers come from the gauntlets and not from my own, well, whatever it is that it really comes from. They actually shoot from my dick. I didn't know if you knew that. I'm just able to concentrate them into my hands. The cape and costume design were mine, albeit I admit I took some inspiration outside of my own little life. When I was young, my parents tried to keep me away from comic books. They promoted violence as a method of solving problems. Still, I read them in secret. The costume is actually inspired by, of all things, a supervillain, but I think the look works for a guy in my position too. The mask is my own innovation though. Based on the lenses of sunglasses, they hide my eyes from detection while letting me see perfectly, and frankly, I need the sunglasses angle anyway. I may be able to use light however way I want, but my eyes are still susceptible to the brightness. The sunglasses take that brightness away. Okay, and then glitter. Lightness, furniture, ingest. I can't read all that. Hang on, let me take a sip of my water. Okay. It's the hair that I'm really proud of though. It's just a generic touch-up paint for furniture design to lighten it up a bit. Water won't remove it, but if I add 1 or 2 shampoos, I can get it out with ease. I'm also getting a lot of press thanks to my recent escapades. A few people have tried to take my picture, but whatever powers me somehow removes any features from photographs, digital or otherwise. And then we got an author's note. Originally, the text for this one was too small. Now it's updated with better text. Wait, why did I even bother leaving the note? Yeah, exactly. Why did you bother reading the note? Or why'd you bother reading it, leaving any of these notes? Anyway. Alright, next page. So, we're at a police station. And we got a cop here. Let me think of a good voice for him. Okay. I want to make this perfectly clear to everyone. Officially, we abhor the activities of any vigilante in the city and are actively trying to locate this Lightbringer. Unofficially, this guy has brought in more perps in 3 nights than we have in a month. If you encounter him, try to learn as much as you can, but otherwise, stay out of his way. If we need to bring him in, I want to know as much as I can about him first. And if you do run into him, for the love of God, be careful. We don't know how he does it, but those lights of his can burn you real badly. He stumbled onto a rape that was occurring and gave the rapist second-degree burns on his back. God knows what else he's capable of. I mean, if it were me, I would have run up to that rapist and blown his dick out with my lights. But, you know, burning his back is good too, I guess. Oh god, and then, oh, his face. What is with those eyes? They're so, like, god, like, it looks like he's got, like, a weird, like, little Pac-Man in his eyes, and why are they so spaced apart? Oh god, this is bad. Anyway, okay. If this guy is some comic book hero, fetishist or something, he may try to contact one of you. Hope to get the police on his side. If anyone is contacted by him, let me know immediately. I'm not putting any of you in danger without putting myself in it first. In the meantime, get back to work. Lightbringer may patrol the night, but we work 24/7. Alright, fuck that note. Okay, let me check the chat real quick. They're acting like Lightbringer has the power of God and anime by his side. Yeah, they do. I mean, you know, he absolutely does. Anyway, next page. Yeah, easy for me to say, we work 24/7. If the work we did was actually doing something, this Lightbringer guy wouldn't be here. I just wish I had some way of knowing he was on the level or not. Hey, what's that on my desk? And then he sees a little note here, and it says, I'd like to a meeting to, okay, it's cut off so I can't read it too well. Yeah, that, that face is a little, I don't know if I trust that face. Anyway, next page. So, we've got a team of superheroes here. We've got the Lightbringer, obviously, and God, I don't even know who any of these people are. Okay, we got Bugman over here. We've got Generic Strong Lady. We've got this girl. We've got Lancer from the new Suicide Squad movie, but Silver. We've got Army Ninja guy, whoever that is. We've got Russian Flash from the looks of it, and I don't know who this guy is. Oh, okay, this is fan art. This isn't part of the comic. It's just fan art. Okay, and anyway, so let's go ahead and move on to the next page. Oh god, more blocks of text. Fucking Christ. Alright, business has been slow lately, so I haven't exactly had a problem with my employees relaxing a bit while on the job. I'm sometimes simply amazed at how people can lead ordinary lives, even in the face of all the crime that happens in the city. Still, I suppose it's only natural that not everything's so bad for everyone there. There are 8 million people living in Pharaoh City, and they can't all have it as bad as I did, could they? Okay, then just some 2 characters. Let me think of a voice. It's so romantic thinking of it. Sorry, I can't do high-pitched voices. God. Right now, there's some urban knights selflessly working to fight all the crime in this city. I simply adore it. I just got to ask myself, if he's got the time to learn sewing, put together a costume, and then start fighting crime in it, why is this guy not in fashion design? It's what I'd do if I could do all that. Alright, Michelle a lot. She's worked for me
for 2 years and is simply in love with the romantic period in literature. And Gary Manning, he's worked for me for as long as Michelle has. The guy's always got a joke ready to spring on you when you least expect it. And they're never funny. And then we got this purple-haired chick with a green eye. And she says, "Hey, Michelle, you said you wanted to meet you. You said you wanted to meet you here for lunch." Wait, let me reread that. You said you wanted to meet you here. What? That doesn't... Whatever. Next page. Alright. More blocks of text. And he's flashing back to the attempted robbery from last time. My God! It's her! Oh, that's the chick from earlier that he saved. Okay. My bad. Did she escape? Did someone help her? How did this happen? How could she be smiling after being attacked like that? Okay, I'm guessing Michelle is the one saying this, so I gotta keep track. I gotta keep better track of the voices I do. But anyway, oh good, Carter. This is my friend that I was telling you about, Hannah Menz. She'd love to work here. Okay. Yeah, hello, Hannah? Michelle told me you want to be a stock girl. I don't know why, but for some reason I thought that said showgirl. Oh man, this turns into showgirls. Fuck. I hope this turns into showgirls. It'll be much more entertaining. Man, everybody got AIDS and shit. Alright, next page. Well, hang on, let me first check the stream, see what's going on. Okay, I'm just looking through the chat right now. He crammed so much text in there to where you need glasses and shit if it was on paper. Yeah, I mean, that's how I feel right now, because this is really, really tough to read. Anyway, let's continue. Yep, that's me. Well, I hope you don't take it the wrong way when I say it's a little unusual to have a stock girl. No offense, but you don't seem the type to be doing heavy lifting. I mean, women are so weak and frail, they're not supposed to handle huge loads, except the ones I give them. What? Afraid I can't handle the heavy load? Oh god, that just makes my joke even worse. Well, no, And then she just throws her purse over at him. That's a stone top table, right? About 100 pounds, 110. Hold this. Yeah, but... And then she throws her purse over at him, and it clocks him on the head. The end. Alright, but it's not really the end. Next page. And then, let's see. What's she doing? Just wait and see. And then she takes the table, and she lifts it up like it's nothing. Wow! So am I hired? Alright, then we got authors known. Hannah was originally meant to just appear in that one part of issue 1, and then we'd never see her again. However, as I continued working on the comic, I realized that in the first issue, every woman seen was being victimized in some manner and portrayed as someone who needed saving. As such, I wanted to have a strong female character as part of the main cast. Thus, we see part of the explanation of how Hannah escaped her attacker. The full story is at the beginning of issue number 3, then a weird winky face. Oh yeah, that's right, I forgot to mention, Linkar is also a feminist. He's well, he's more than a feminist, he's a freaking SJW. Which, I mean, you know, there's nothing wrong with, like, being a feminist and, like, supporting women's rights and all that. But, I don't know, this is just something else, I don't know. Anyway, next page. And then, that night, okay, it's the cop again. What am I doing here? This was probably a prank pulled by the internal affairs people. So you are here. Nice entrance. Thanks. I like to think I have some dramatic skills. Oh, don't thank me yet. See, I still haven't decided whether or not I should arrest you or pin a medal on your costume. Oh, why's that? Because you're a vigilante. You've already committed several assaults. Assaults on individuals who are in the process of committing a criminal act, and I'm, don't give me that self-defense or preventing a crime BS. You think you're the first guy who had who had pie-in-the-sky dreams of taking on crime in the city with violence. Okay, I have never heard the phrase pie-in-the-sky dreams. Like, fuck does that even mean? Like, I seriously have never heard that. Like, if you've heard somebody say pie-in-the-sky dreams before, please let me know, because I sure as shit have never heard that before. Alright, anyway. 2 years ago, there was the Emerald Flame Killer. I assume you know what happened to him. And all that. And I'm no vigilante. Struck up in front of police headquarters by the Emerald Flame Gang, if I recall correctly. Alright, let me check. 100 pounds is not that much. Yeah, it really isn't. I wouldn't be surprised if this comic derailed into... You know what? I hope it derails into degeneracy, Alex, because honestly, that would make this comic so much more tolerable for me, because right now, I'm not gonna lie, this is honestly pretty dull. Like, it's just a really generic superhero story. I mean, there's nothing inherently wrong with it, but it's just kind of dull, to be honest. And I don't know, I'm just really hoping this goes into like some Sonichu number 8 territory, just to go completely off the rails. But it's probably not going to happen. Anyway, next page. So we got a bunch of dialogue balloons all over the place. I'm just gonna see if I can read them the right way. Anyway, exactly. So how do I know you're not some killer who's going to be dead on my doorstep in a week? I'm not going to kill anyone. Oh, sure, you say that now, but give it time. See some of the seamier criminals Pharaohs has to offer, and then tell me you won't kill them. What would I have to do to prove I'm not some psychotic vigilante out for blood, but fully committed to really fixing this city? Oh, right, you want to prove that you're a real superhero? The kind that save the day and really make a difference? Yes. Take down the slavers. I want their base of operations, their associates, their clients. I want their organization so hurt that they will never be able to recover. I want them dead. I want their families dead. I want their house burned to the ground. Alright, next page. Great! Take down the slavers! Thanks for the general statement of what I have to do. I have no idea where their leaders are, or even where slavers operate of. Well, hang on. This is all coming from Lightbringer, not from the Carter guy, so I should probably read these text boxes in his voice. Anyway, I mean, where do I even start to look? The slavers take extraordinary care to make sure people can't find them. When Serpent started to loan money to me, he sought me out, somehow knowing already that I needed money. I don't know, maybe I should just go back to the store and work on the schedule for next week. I need to add Hannah to the... And then we got the Grand Furniture Store, and there's a 30% off deal. 30% off Wicker. Okay. Hey, who's that down there? And then we see 3 people in front of the store. Let's see who those 3 people are. Next page. Oh, hey, it's the gang from the first issue. All right. Let's see. Serpent, Meathead, and some crony. I had been planning to just beat the snot out of him on Friday and have the police arrest him when he came in to get the money I owed him. Evidently, he felt that I wasn't going to give back the money, so he's going to burn down my store instead. I'm going to enjoy this. And then we get an action scene. Pow! Schlit. Okay. Alright, next page. And then we get a gray line, and then we see, oh, it's the Lightbringer. Wakey, wakey, Serpent. And I'm guessing since he's upside down, that means Serpent is hanging upside down. Okay, next page. And then, wait, what? Okay, we got a female Lightbringer now. Okay, oh, okay, this is just more fan art, never mind. Okay, why is it formatted like this, where, because, like, I mean, I've never been on this website, comicgenius.com, but, like, wouldn't it make more sense to just format it so that you just go from one page to the next and not get interrupted by fan art every so often? I mean, the fan art on display, it's not bad. I mean, it's better than the actual art in the Lightbringer, but, like, I don't know, just really breaks up the flow of things. So, all right, well, next page. And then, okay, back to the action. All right, here's how this is going to work. We are 50 feet above Lodestar Tower, putting us roughly 950 feet up. I have some questions for you, namely, where the Slavers' HQ is and who their leader is. Oh God, oh God. I would just like to know that while my abilities may move at the speed of light, I do not. God, there is no leader. We just have this small. That's crap. The Slavers are all about having power over other people. Whoever started it wouldn't allow control to become chaotic. What I mean to say is that the general doesn't really do anything at all. He just... My patience is wearing very thin, Serpent. Just like my ability to keep you held up like that. My God, what is wrong with you? He's gonna drop him, and his head's gonna go kaplow, like Mama in Dread. I mean, I hope that happens. Like, anyway, next page. And then... What's wrong with you kidnap women and children off the streets? You force them to a life of servitude to you or others. You extort and blackmail people. You steal from the needy and destroy the lives of innocent people through murder and rape. Flash. And then he's fallen to the sky, and looking at his face, he doesn't seem to give a shit. It's like, oh, I guess I'm falling. Alright, whatever. And there's this weird blue line. I don't know what that is. Probably just an error on the artist's part. Let me check the chat real quick. Paid. Okay, yeah. Data can... Oh boy, this is bad. Yeah, this is pretty bad. Okay, been going on for about an hour now. I guess we'll just keep going until I get to the end of this issue. So, let's just move on to the next page. And then the dude's falling, and there's like a net or something, and he springs up, boing, and then this, I don't know what that is, it's making a phew sound, and then, and you ask what's wrong with me, and he's choking the guy out. Oh my God. Wow, this is getting really, really intense. Anyway, let's move on. Okay, wait. Oh, great, more fan art. It's better to kick some ass than curse the darkness. Okay, this fan art actually looks really good. It's like close to professional quality. Like, why couldn't Linkar have just gotten this guy to do the art instead of the Ted Sage guy or whatever his name is? But anyway, next page. And then we've got the police officer again. Sorry, I'm getting the voice mixed up. I must admit, I didn't expect you to succeed, and even then so quickly. Hello, Serpent. I haven't seen you for a few months. Keep away from me. Oh, that won't be a problem. We'll put you up in a nice 6x6 room, far away from Lightbringer. Admittedly, we won't be able to hold him or use testimony on him because of what I'm sure you did to him, Lightbringer. But he's not the one we're really interested in, is he? Take another sip of my water. Anyway, nope. However, before I tell you the information I got out of him, I have one question. And what is that one question? Let's see. Who are they? Oh, wait. Who? What? Okay. I'm Dave. And my name is Alice Bello, but you can call me the Code Poet. And we're going to help you bring down the slavers. And then next, the end of the slavers? Alright, okay, is this the end of the issue? Let me see real quick. Okay, yeah, that's the end of the issue. So, that's 2 issues of the Lightbringer down. Okay, pull up, go back to the regular scene. Check the chat real quick. Well, guess I'll die. No, don't die on us. Okay, we've been going for about an hour now, and things seem to be dying out a little bit. So I think we can go ahead and just call this a stream. Let's see, it looks like someone's sending in a message in the chat. When story, character, and panel layout is good, people can usually forgive. Yeah, that's true.
you know, I mean, I could certainly forgive this comic for the rough art if the story was like interesting or whatever, but I don't know. I mean, the first two issues weren't like terrible, but I don't know. It just, yeah, it just wasn't that great. Like I can definitely see how this earned its reputation. It's definitely a pretty bad webcomic, and I don't know. It's not quite as hilariously awful as I thought it would be, but it's still not good either. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, that's been tonight's stream. I guess I can just go ahead and wrap things up. And I guess before I go, I'll just go ahead and do my usual shilling. But I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Let me just go ahead and pull this up. Make sure I get everything. Okay, yeah. So I've got the website here, film-nerd.com. My most recent review is for the 1985 revenge thriller Walking the Edge for my Full Moon Friday series. And I should have a new review for The Suicide Squad out either tonight or sometime this weekend. And I'll also be doing a video for it. I've also got a Patreon that you can go to and donate to. I've got some reward tiers. And I'll actually be doing a bit more like exclusive Patreon stuff. I've actually got a poll going on right now for the next Full Moon Fridays. So if you guys want to if you guys want to decide what'll be the next Trauma Tuesday, you can go to my Patreon and sign up for that. I've also got a Ko-Fi if that's what you're into. Of course, I've got my Discord server. Link should be in the description. And of course, I've got my YouTube channel. I'm currently at 89 subscribers, I believe. I'm trying to get up to 100. If I get to 100 subs, I promise I'll do something special to celebrate. But anyway, so I think that's going to do it for tonight's stream. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for checking out the stream. Really happy that you guys came to spend your evening with me. Thank you, Bodacious CNO, for the donation. That was very kind of you. And until next week, this is FilmNerd signing off. Take care, guys.